We survived, I think, the first week maybe, and we knew we had to lift our game big time. And so we walk in there, we're both tired, and it was just a lack of communication, or, you know, I was communicating one way, he was communicating another way. And
Mars,
it was like,
Venus.
Oh yeah, big time, baby, big time.
wow. And it was like a moment, it was literally like a 5-minute period of time. And from that, we just went forward, and I think he knew better how to teach me, and I figured out better how to just shut up and learn.
But also at this particular point, I mean, I look at that moment, and that so does not describe our ride, you know. And if people get hung up on that moment, then they miss the entire journey of Kate learning how to dance from first footsteps. In fact, it almost felt like I was teaching her how to walk in the first time we were in the dance studio. So
literally,
if people focus only on that moment, then they completely missed our journey.
You made a good point,
I
Tony.
feel like going.
I think that's part of what endeared you to us, Kate, the fact that, you know, you didn't have any experience whatsoever where some of the other contestants did, and that, you know, you admitted how nervous you were, and we'd like to think that we would be able to get out there on the dance floor, but you did. Tony talked about his family. Kate, what about the kids? You said they lived for Mondays to watch. Was it hard for them to hear what the judges were saying about your dancing?
It actually was very hard for them to hear what the judges were saying. In fact, I got to the point where I would allow them to watch me to dance, but then they weren't allowed to watch the judges' comments, because Kara and Maddie especially got very hung up in what they said, and it was hard for them to hear negative things about me, because of course, in their eyes, I was the best dancer. So it was really hard for them. And you know, they don't even know yet, actually. They were asleep by the time I got back last night. So I'll tell them this morning. I did not allow them to watch the show last night because obviously I'm out here, and I already knew they're out here with me. And so I will tell them today, and they'll be happy that I'm going home with them, and that I'll be home more with them. So I think they'll be okay in the end.
All through this, you were fighting a custody battle in court with John. How much did that weigh on you?
Wow. Maybe you should ask Tony that question. That's why you saw me the way you saw me. It was emotionally very hard, very draining, very scary.
Basically, it was like a different Kate from hour to hour, depending on what was coming through the emails. And it's funny because one day I said, I'm wearing 15 different hats. Depending on which Kate shows up, that's the Tony I'm going to be.
But I really urged him not to say that, because I don't want to give the impression that I'm like multi-personality.
No. It was based on the emails you were getting.
Are you afraid you're going to lose custody?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just that just to see that stuff going through the legal system, I feel like of all the things John and I did well, we divided the kids between us very peacefully and did it amongst ourselves. So when that stuff started coming through, it was just like, oh my gosh, to have to read this stuff even is so horrifying to me. And I just got through all that legal stuff, and into 2010 I felt like life was brand new, life was starting over, life was exciting, and you know, great for the kids and I. So it was just really difficult to have to kind of step back a couple steps and then have to dance 6 hours a day. And to be honest, dancing was so exciting and wonderful, but I remember telling Tony at some point not to be disrespectful, but my kids come first, and their future is uncertain right now, and dancing kind of feels like, what was the word I used? Like, so, I don't want to use the word not important, but it was just like it had to be second place at that time.
As it should be when it comes to family. I mean, that was we had a couple of times. This is part of the reason why we were practicing at our basement, because there was times where I even asked Kate, like, go ahead, go upstairs, spend some time with the kids, come back fresh, you know? Wow. So.
Yeah.
We promised we wanted to get, and thank you for sharing that, Kate. I know that was difficult. You've been very, I mean, even to show up this morning says a lot about you. Your viewers, your fans kept you in the show for 5 weeks, and we have a couple of questions from them. One is from Jody from Pennsylvania, and she says, was that a happy cry, referring to you crying at the end last night? Was that a happy cry that you are now going home to be with your children, and are you surprised you lasted as long as you did?
It was a mixed emotions cry. It was, I was sad that it was me, that I didn't get to go further, but I was happy that it was me and it wasn't anyone else. I said to the other people before we walked out on the stage, it needs to be me. And I had accepted it at that point because I knew it was me. And at the same time, my second thought was, oh, now I get to go home with the kids. So it was a mixed emotions cry. And yes, I am amazed that I lasted to just about halfway, right?
You did last
halfway. And it is due to my fans and viewers that believed in us. And I'll take that with me always, that there's so many people out there that love and support me. I need that love. I need that support. I need to feel that.
Well, you got that,
so thank you.
A lot more. I wish we had more time.
We have so many more questions from the viewers, but we're about to hit a computer hard out. That's what they call it here. We're going to have to say goodbye to you guys right now.
Thank you. Have a good day, you
Thanks.
two.